think they used them when they sold wool. You'd weigh it.
I don't think my video was going. You gotta start over here again.
Oops.
Never mind. Grindstone and corn sheller, right?
Yes.
Okay.
One ear corn shell.
Yes.
Platform scale. They used them in feed. The elevator had them for weighing feed, and I think they used it for weighing wool when they sold the wool.
Oh, okay.
Did
Is
they have
that old?
bales?
That's a long time ago.
Oh yeah.
We were little.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it almost seems like they hung them from a hook type scale too.
I don't
So
remember that at all. I don't remember
I don't
much.
remember them being around when we were kids. I think one came from Wilbur, but I'm not sure about that either.
It could be.
And this was Neil's old workbench from Wisconsin.
Oh,
He
okay.
put together.
Uh-huh.
And this is what I had I had an oil barrel on that for dispensing oil.
Okay.
Fans out of the old different furnaces throughout the years.
Mm-hmm.
This is the old cream separator.
Oh, we got to get all the pieces together for a picture of that.
Yep.
You know what?
Well, they're stainless steel. They come out tomorrow.
Okay. But I want to be sure to get a picture tomorrow.
Because that stuff,
All the pieces.
one guy said stainless steel is $2 a pound.
Oh, gosh.
salvage.
Wow.
So,
Oh.
yeah. But that's the old cream separator with a motor on it, or you could take the motor off and just use the crank
Oh, okay.
if you didn't have electricity.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
all right, go
Over here.
the elevator.
Walking plow.
No, that's nothing we had as kids.
Uh-uh.
That's more of a walking elevator.
Yep.
This would be like you're going between the rows of
Mm-hmm.
the garden more than anything. He wanted to hook this behind the lawnmower or tractor and cultivate the sweet corn with it. Just a couple years ago.
This one you see on the Red Green Show.
So I had to put this cultivator on the Alice
Uh-huh.
and cultivate with this, the sweet corn. I think you got pictures. You were here once, I think, when I did that.
Could be. Probably.
But this was the one we pulled for years.
Mm-hmm.
Rear mount.
Yep, I remember
Back
it.
when we started cultivating with this, everybody else had front mounts. And they thought we were crazy to have rear mount. How can you drive straight? And how do you miss the corn? And Neil would be out cultivating, and I was too little to cultivate. And they'd send me out with lunch. And the tractor would be on one end of the field, and Neil would be on the other end of the field, uncovering corn. I'd get out there, what are you doing? Shut up and help me uncover corn before Dad sees it. One time I went out there and the tractor was sitting there. I couldn't find him anywhere. I come up there and I think I must have yelled or something. He jumped up underneath the tractor and chewed me out for waking him up. I was tired. But it put you to sleep because you cultivate very, very, very slow.
Oh, uh-huh.
And it put you right to sleep.
Oh,
And that's 4-row wide.
okay.
This would be what they call the field cultivator. And this thing would plug up on anything. These are so close together,
Mm-hmm.
it would plug up. And you'd stop, pick it up, back up, clean it out, kick it around, or else take a big circle while you're picking it up to spread it out, and then drop it down and go again. Not a good thing.
Not fun.
I never ran this. 3-bottom,
Wow.
flat, type moldboard plow.
Mm-hmm.
This is all Ellis Chalmers equipment here.
Okay.
This mower, I ran that on the WD a lot. It was quick. It's belt driven,
Uh-huh.
and instead of a pitman stick to run the sickle, it's a belt, so it would run faster.
Mm-hmm.
But that worked good. You mowed a lot with that. The famous Ellis Chalmers roto balers.
Yes. Those nice round bales. We love those.
Yep.
Nice for horses.
And that would bale thousands of bales every summer.
Yes.
And stack them up. We'd fill the barn up.
We get 3 cuttings every year?
Yep, Memorial Day, middle of summer, and Labor Day.
Mm-hmm.
Or right after Labor Day. Yep. We'd rake it up with that Alice Chalmers rake. It's PTO driven.
Yeah.
Rake it
Nice
with that.
windrows, yep.
And this thing had a transmission in it, so you could actually change the speed
Really?
of it. And if it rained on your windrow,
Uh-huh.
you put it in what's called a tedder position, and it would just go about as fast as you're driving, and it would just kind of pick it up a little bit. It
Really?
wouldn't kick it off the side, and it just kind of pick it up off the ground because the rain beats it down.
Mm-hmm.
They call that tedding it. Tedding it? Tedder. I think it's called tedder. But that would just kind of fluff it a little.
Nice.
Because otherwise the apron on the baler wouldn't get underneath it to pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
And it wouldn't dry out sitting on the ground.
Yeah.
Yep, that was the PPO one. This is an Alice Chalmers lawnmower that's not worth talking about.
Okay. I remember the corn picker.
The corn picker, the
Yep.
Farmall International.
What year is that?
2-row wide corn picker.
What year you think?
40s?
40s?
I don't know how long they made them. They made different models, but this one's a 2ME. They made 2Ms, 2MEs, 2MHs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's quite a while they made them.
Is this one that caught fire one time?
No, I think he got rid of that one and had to buy this one.
Oh, okay.
Those big sheets on the side, those are the fenders to cover up the tires on the F20.
Uh-huh.
They wouldn't run over corn.
Yeah,
The
okay.
corn was leaning a little bit. You'd run right over it.
Okay, yeah.
And that would just kind of push it off the side.
Mm-hmm.
International 4-row wide planter. Planted the corn and beans with that.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet corn lately, but I planted sweet corn with it 3 years ago.
Did you?
I said I'd never do it again. The springs are all so old and brittle, they broke.
Oh, no.
So you had to put it in gear by hand and put the marker down by hand, get to the end, put the thing up, take it out of gear, turn around, put it back in gear, put the other marker down and come back. And them short rows.
Ah, take forever.
For a fat guy like me, it was a lot of exercise. Old manure spreader.
Do we use that one? Is that the one we used to use?
No.
I didn't think so.
He bought this one later.
Okay.
When he had the horses, he got this one.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And then he used that hitch cart
Mm-hmm.
with the combine axle.
Mm-hmm.
He hooked this on that, and then
Okay.
he spread with horses. These are called trash rakes. You pull them behind the moldboard plow. And this pipe would run in the furrow, and it'd take the corn stalks and leaves that are laying on the ground
Uh-huh.
and pick them up and dump them in the furrow.
Okay.
So the plow wouldn't plug up the next time around,
Okay.
and they'd break off.
Mm.
This is what they call the drag cart. You hook it behind the drag. There
Okay.
used to be a seat on it,
Uh-huh.
and you could sit while you're
Oh,
going with the horses.
sure, yeah.
The horses would pull the drag, and you'd be hooked to the drag, so just right along behind.
Mm-hmm.
I never ran that.
No.
This is the old hay loader. This would hook behind the wagon, the flat rack,
Mm-hmm.
with that hitch, and then the windrow would be right down between the wheels, and then the lift system would pick up the windrow and feed it up here, and then dump it on the trailer.
Okay.
And they'd stand on the trailer to level it with a fork.
We didn't use that, did we?
Never.
Mm-mm.
Never. Nope. And I think it was a dusty job because
Oh.
you'd be standing there and be dumping dust on
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
This is an old dump rake,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just because these teeth would go down and catch the hay, and then you had to tip it with your foot to let the teeth come up.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be going crossways across the field to make a windrow. So you'd pull it, dump it, drop it down, pull it a little ways, and you had to do that evenly all the way across the
Oh
field.
my
so your
gosh.
dumps were in line,
Uh-huh.
so you had a windrow with a hay load.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, you didn't just drive, you had to run the dump,
Uh-huh.
and you had to be quick and watch so everything was in a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
I never had to do that either.
No, that's work.
I heard about it and that was bad enough. That's the John Deere No. 5 mower that was mounted on the F20 year-round. We mowed hay
That
with
was
that
on.
over and over and over
Mhm.
and over and over again. We could go in road gear a lot of times.
Nice.
This is just an old John Deere disc. I'm not sure if it's one we always had or not. It could be.
I don't know.
This is what they call a single gang. A tandem would have 2 rows of disc blades.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times Dad would disc with this and he'd double disc it. Go halfway over, coming back,
Mm-hmm.
so it'd tear the ground up better
Mm-hmm.
in the spring before you plant or in the fall before you plow.
What's this?
This is the bracket he put on the F-20, and he had 3 55-gallon drums, and it was a sprayer.
Oh,
It
okay.
had booms that hung up here. These pulleys held the boom. It was like 10 foot wide. And he'd spray with it.
Mm-hmm.
And a little pump that ran on the PTO that pumped the liquid,
Yeah.
the chemical, the water and the wheat killers. That's an F-20 drawbar laying there. This is a ground-driven side rake. And this is what he used lately because he didn't like the PTO. And this one had the teeth on it, had a little kink on them.
Yeah.
They weren't, instead of being straight, they had a little kink, and they'd pick the hay up a little bit better.
Oh, okay.
But this one you couldn't reverse. This is what Dad always called the roller.
Mm-hmm.
And some people call it a Colta packer because these teeth would break your hard clods of dirt,
Right.
and these would pack it.
Okay.
And it'd smooth out the clods real good.
Uh-huh.
This is the end gate seater that would fit in the old wood lumber wagon type thing, or in a flare box if you had a sprocket to drive it. That's not seeing it, but it's sitting upside down right now.
Oh, okay.
This is the hopper you put the oats in.
Mm-hmm.
That hopper you put the grass seed in, or the alfalfa seed.
Right.
And these wheels here would spin, and they'd fling it out. So you couldn't go too fast or it'd throw it too far.
Okay, sure.
But you could adjust the gate on this as how fast the seed was coming down to adjust your seed population. That used to be a flare box that Dad converted it into a buckboard.
What's the flare box? Oh, it had the...
Flared out and then up.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I think the boards are laying in there, some of them that came off of it. But he thought it looked better that way.
Uh-huh.
It does.
Yeah.
Barge box. He used that mostly for, well, we put ear corn in there for the horses.
Mm-hmm.
So we hold corn in it, down, beans in it. This is the old wagon hoist.
I remember that.
That's sat by the elevator by the corn
By the
crib.
corn crib. Mm-hmm.
Drive on there and you had a belt drive.
Yep.
Put the belt from the tractor to this
Mm-hmm.
and put it in gear, and cables would come up and they'd lift that platform up so the corn would run out of the wagon like that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Yep.
This is just a old running gear with no box.
Yep.
Another old running gear with no box.
That's an old one.
These two are the old Parker gravity wagons, first ones in Winnebago County.
Yes, those are pretty modern.
Nobody had them but us.
Uh-huh.
And we picked ear corn in. And it worked.
Yep.
I remember Neil and I would be unloading ear corn back in 65, 64.
Mm-hmm.
And we'd look up and some guy would be standing there watching us. We'd stop and says, "Do you need our dad?" "No, I just want to see how you get ear corn out of them things." But it rolled out really nice.
Yeah.
We dump it right into the elevator, and it elevated up into the corn crib.
Nice. That was nice.
Yeah, it worked real well.
Yep.
That's it.
That's it.
We're done.